Welcome to episode 9 of my podcast. So, I have not recorded I actually checked my YouTube this morning and I think it was 5 weeks ago. I've had a little break, I've stepped back, and if you're new here, you won't know this. If you're not new here, then you will know this. But recently, about 3 weeks ago now, my granddad passed over. He is now on my spirit team. And I feel such a shift in my energy. I feel so different. And I'm starting this episode with a little bit of a reintroduction to me. Because this shift in energy, in vibration, I want you to feel. I want you to feel how different I feel. I can't explain it. I cannot explain what the fuck is happening, but I feel it and I'm just trusting in it. So, in this episode, I really wanted to dive into a part of my life, right, that feels vulnerable. Like, it honestly feels so vulnerable to talk about. But if I've learned anything on my journey, it's the parts when I feel vulnerable, when I feel uncomfortable, when I don't want to do it, when I shy away, when I back off, when I avoid. They're the parts what people want to see. They're the parts that people are attracted to, that needs to be seen. They're the parts with the most powerful message, and that's the intention for this episode. So it's kind of like a little bit of a comeback episode, and I'm coming back with a bang. More vulnerable than I've felt in a while. So this episode is about how when we are being tested, when shit is being thrown at us, when the universe is dragging us down and bringing us to our knees and we don't understand. We don't understand what's happening. We start creating stories in our heads. We fall into a little bit of a victim consciousness, if you're honest with yourself. Start feeling sorry for ourselves. We go in this dark hole and then we stay there. Not realising that actually what is happening is for us, for our growth, for our expansion, for the next level. And I'm going to speak to you today about exactly how that happened to me just 2 years ago. And I believe, if I was to really sit with it, I believe that this was such a pivotal part of my journey, my awakening, my connection to self. I got so much from this experience that at the time, I did not want to go through. I hated every second of it, to the point I questioned everything about my life. I didn't understand because I didn't have the answers. Nothing made sense. I was in the dark. And when you're in the dark, you don't see the light. You don't see a way out. You're just in it. When you were inside that frame, you do not see the picture. You don't see the outside perspective. And a mantra that I live by, that I swear by, that I preach, that I teach, that I love is everything that happens to me, good or bad, and I stay neutral with it all. Everything that's happening to me at that point in my journey, it's happening for me. It's happening for my soul's expansion. It's going to get me to the next level. Okay, so 2 years ago, I was in a relationship and I was so in love with this person. Madly in love. I'm talking, I wanted to spend the rest of my life with him. I'm talking marriage. I'm talking wanting babies. I'm talking slightly obsessed, a little bit obsessed. And that relationship come to an end. I was on holiday with my family, on a family holiday, and I'm literally sat back. Now, don't get me wrong, I need to put this part in actually. When that relationship wasn't an easy relationship, no, it wasn't toxic or like my other relationships that I've been in, which we won't even go there. But there was a lot of growth in it, let's just say that. So we triggered the life out of each other because we was both on the journey, we were both spiritual, we were both growing, we were both evolving, and together we triggered each other. So the relationship was a lot of ups and downs. So it wasn't completely perfect. So I'm on holiday, right? And I'm sat by the pool with my son and all of my family are there, and I get a message on WhatsApp. The message on WhatsApp. And basically, I can't even remember what it said now, but long story short, it was just like, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. I need to be single. Basically, I don't want it and I'm done. And then I was blocked. I was deleted. I was blocked off all social media. My WhatsApp was blocked. My number was blocked. Done. Fully ghosted. Like, relationship done. I'm on holiday with my family. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Now, I need to tell you a really important part of this story, because from that day, it's not exactly 2 years, it's 2 years in August. So from that day, I have not spoke to this person. I have not heard of him. I've not had a message. Like, there was no closure in that relationship, none. That's unheard of. Like, every single person I speak to, every woman that I speak to about my situation, that doesn't exist. Like, as you know, when you go through a relationship, you go through that stage where you might keep texting, you have a little stalk of each other's Instagram, you might speak on the phone, you might even meet up for a coffee, or you might even be in that stage where you're arguing, but there's some sort of communication, isn't there? It's not just cut off. Well, mine was just cutthroat, done. Like, it was so intense. And I was just like, oh my God. So then I got off that holiday, and I had the mindset that I believe most girls have. Like, when you have been ghosted, blocked, deleted, fucked off by the man that you're in love with, what do? You have your glow up. You go all in on you. So my mindset then was, right, well, fuck him then. Like, I'm just going to work on me. And I have been following this coach for a while on Instagram, and I messaged him and I was like, look, I need to get in the sicker shape of my life. So let's go, like, it's go time. Signed me up to a 6-month package. He was quite expensive as well, which is probably why I put off working with him for so long. But then this breakup like catapulted me into making these kinds of decisions that I believe was in service to my best self. So I messaged this coach and he was like, oh, like, lucky for you, we can start working together next week. I've got a space in my diary. I've had a cancellation, blah, blah, blah. Jumped on a call, signed up to 6 months, was all in. And then I went through that stage of, like, you know, you start like going all in on your appearance, whether it's like, you know, getting your Botox done or getting new hair extensions, or like my thing was like going on the sunbeds. I love having a tan. And I was in like this vibration of, right, I want to be my best self. And I'm not asked about this man and what he's done to me. Like, I'm not going to sit in it. I'm not going to dwell in it. I'm not going to feel it, like his loss sort of thing. And I just tried to completely avoid the healing process of what I'd just been through. So a week into working with this fitness coach, me and my sister went wild camping, which is basically where we went on like a nature walk with a gang of girls, and then you basically just climb a mountain, pitch your tent, and that's you good to go for the night. So the next morning we wake up and it's like 4 a.m. and we wanted to leave before everybody else gets up. You know, like to avoid like all the small talk and stuff. I was just like, oh, I'm freezing, I'm tired, we hardly slept. Like, let's get our shit and go. So we got up at like 4 a.m. before everybody else, and we're walking down this mountain, right? We've got all our bags. Just visualize this, girls. Just visualize it. We've got all our bags. It's 4 a.m. We'd have no sleep, and we're walking back to the car. I'm walking, and the next minute, I stand funny on a rock. I didn't even fall. I just stood funny on a rock on this mountain and completely twisted my foot. Yeah, I can literally feel the pain now as I'm speaking. I can feel the pain. I'm on a mountain and I need to walk down this mountain to get back to the car. How I got back to that car, I will never know. I will never understand, but I did. And I'm quite good actually at detaching and disconnecting from emotion, going into my mind and focusing on the end result. And that's what I'd done. I was like, my sister was like, we need to ring mountain rescue. We're going to have to stay here. Like, you can't walk. Like, my ankle was, I broke my foot. But I just had in my mindset, I need to get back to the car, just soldier through, walking down this mountain. When you get back to the car, you can cry, you can scream, you can do what the fuck you want, but you need to get off this mountain. And we are not waiting for mountain rescue. So I walked down the mountain with a broken foot, got back to the car, and then went to the hospital, blah, 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 broken in 2 places. I have never broke a bone in my life. I've never had an accident, I'm never ill, nothing, never. I don't get colds, I don't get coughs, like nothing at all. So then what happened? I was then bedbound, and I mean bedbound. I couldn't physically walk down the stairs. My foot, like honestly, I posted it at the time on my Instagram. My foot was like this big. It was all swelled up. I was in a cast. I was on crutches, and I was literally bedbound. I couldn't drive. I couldn't leave my bedroom. Now, in that moment, I was like, what the fuck is happening? I've just signed up to a new coach. I'm going through a breakup. I'm trying to heal my heart space. And now the universe has brought my foot, and I'm bedbound, and I've got to stay in this room, and I can't go out and be my best self and go out with the girls and live in the gym. Like, that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to go out drinking and partying. That's not my scene. I'm not really much of a drinker. I wanted to go and live in the gym and work on like feeling better and looking better and going through that post-breakup glow up. That's what I wanted to do. And the universe was like, no, you are going to lie in that bed and you're going to face your shit and you're not going to escape it and you're going to stay in it, and I'm going to keep you in it. And the only way to keep you in it, Catherine, is to break your bones. So you physically cannot leave the bed. And that was literally my situation. I physically couldn't leave my bed. So the next part, I had to go on a healing journey. I had to sit with myself. And I knew that. And I knew it from the work that I've already done, from already being on the journey for years. I knew in these situations, when anything happens to me, I know that there's a lesson coming, and the more hard and difficult it feels, I know something big is going to be born from it. So I knew that this situation, even though my ego was screaming, like, what the fuck is going on? I knew within myself, like when I tapped into my truth, when I detached from the ego and I really felt into my heart space, I was like, this is what you need, Catherine. You need to feel this. You need to allow yourself to be in it, to stay in it, to sit in it. And that's how you let it go. You can't avoid it. You can't run from it. You need to face yourself. And then this next part of my journey didn't have anything to do with the relationship and dwelling on what he's done to me and I'm such a victim and how dare he do that to me. That wasn't the mindset. The mindset was, where do I need to go within? What parts of myself do I need to heal? Where am I trying to avoid myself? Where am I running? Where am I not willing to show up for myself? And I had to really sit with that, and the universe gave me the opportunity to. The next part of my journey changed my life. That situation changed my life. That breakup changed my life. That relationship changed my whole entire life. And even though I've never spoke to that person again, I will always, always be grateful for what he brought to my life. For it was my awakening. He awakened my soul. That whole relationship was destined to be on my path, to awaken me. And that's the thing with relationships and people and experiences and situations that we go through in this lifetime. Maybe they're not meant to stay. Maybe it's not meant to last. Maybe it's not meant to work out forever, but you will get what you need. And the universe is always, always giving us what we need, not what we want. We think that we know what we want, but actually the universe knows better. And that's why you need to trust. You need to trust in you. You need to trust in your level of connection to you. What you are seeking and what you are looking for is not out there. It's in here. So when that relationship broke down and that whole that breakup happened, I went straight out there, contacting the coach on Instagram, joining the new gym, signing up to this, doing that. Everything was outside of myself, and the universe was like, no, it's within. You need to go within. Because here's what would have happened if I didn't spend that time healing and facing me shit and looking at me shadows and really reflecting on who I was in that whole relationship. Then I wouldn't break free from that cycle. I wouldn't break free from the pattern. I'd continue it in the next relationship and the next relationship. What we don't heal from, we continue to carry. What we don't break free from, we stay in. And it's a cycle, and the cycle is endless until we decide, I'm breaking it. I'm not doing this anymore. I knew the way that I shown up in that relationship was the unhealed version of me. And I needed to face that part of myself. And do you know what I needed to do? I needed to love her. I needed to show her so much love and compassion and acceptance. And I really needed to be with me, to hold that space for me, to allow myself to really feel what needed to be felt without attaching stories or emotions, but just being in it. And breaking my ankle is what gave me that opportunity. So at the time, I was building a very successful multi-six-figure business. I was at my peak in my business. It was all taking off. I had my own training academy, my own salon. I was very successful and I was good at what I'd done, but I knew that it wasn't it. I knew that this isn't me. And I very slowly began to transition out of that stage in my life. But I didn't have the courage to just go all in. Breaking my ankle, healing from the relationship, doing the healing work, sitting with myself, spending that time, really focusing on what I actually want from this life, what impact am I here to have. That led to the spiritual hut being born. This was now my second business, completely separate from aesthetics. Then I started really putting myself out there. I really started sharing my gift. I started speaking more on camera. I started showing up on social media more. And I just started being more authentic. If I'm really honest, it was that level of authenticity. I took off the mask. Doing the healing work and meeting parts of myself that I've avoided and I've run from my entire life enabled me to be more authentically me in my truth. And I really allowed my audience to witness that. And then I started manifesting women from all over the country, like traveling to me to do this healing work. I was doing circles and I would just do an Instagram story. I'd just do a post on a whim. Like, feel like doing a circle this weekend. It's the new moon or the full moon or whatever the situation was. I put a post out there and I'm talking within minutes. Within minutes, they would sell out. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I didn't understand what was happening, but I didn't need to understand. I was having too much fun. I loved it. So then that's when I then took it online and I started doing an online program called Heal Your Heart Space. That was my biggest creation to date. It's my signature program, which is like, I'm so proud of that program. But that was created from going through that healing stage in my life. That's how all of this that you see today, the stages that I walk on, the live events that I do, the motivational speaking, even this now, even me sat here in this studio, all of it came from that time in my life. And it felt hard and it felt uncomfortable and it felt like it wasn't fair. And it felt like, woe is me, I don't deserve this. Like, give me a break. Why can't I break my ankle in a few months' time when I've healed from this relationship, when I've fixed my broken heart, when I'm in a better place with my life? Why is it all happening now? But it needed to happen then. And that also enabled me to trust. I have so much trust when things happen to me. I'm like, it's the right timing. I'm never in the frequency of this is the wrong time. Everything is aligned. Everything is in divine timing. We can't see the bigger picture. We can't see it all unfolding, but we have to trust that it is. We have to have that level of trust from within that it is all unfolding and it's happening for us. All of it, all the time. I think my biggest lesson from going through all of that was being able to trust myself, was being able to listen to me, to stop seeking out there, to stop asking everybody else for advice and guidance on what should I do or where should I go or who should I talk to listen to that inner voice, to listen to my body, to listen to my heart space, to really realise when it's time to go within and allow myself to feel and allow myself to be the witness to what I need to sit with, and to have the awareness of when I'm running, when I'm avoiding, when I'm making excuses, when I'm staying in old stories, old cycles, and just feel into the times in your life when you feel like something's happening to you that doesn't feel fair, that feels out of your control, that you feel like it's dragging you back. Sometimes when we're on this spiritual journey, we can feel like we're taking one step forward and 10 steps back. And maybe you're in that now. Maybe you're in the struggle now. Maybe you're going through something right now in your life and you're questioning why. Why does this have to happen to me? Maybe you can't see a way out. Maybe you feel stuck. This is your sign. This podcast is your sign. This is the light at the end of the tunnel. This is what you've been asking for. This is why you've been aligned to watch this video. Because something's coming. Something big is on the other end of this. But do you trust? Do you surrender? Can you let go? I had to let go. I had to let go of the stories that was attached to this breakup. I had to let go of the emotions of the heartbreak and the hurt and the rejection and the abandonment. Oh my God, that abandonment wound was so raw, ripped wide open. It was like I had a plaster over this abandonment wound, which I developed back as a child, which a lot of our wounds come from childhood. And then he just ripped it off. He ripped that plaster off and he showed me that wound. And I had no awareness that I had an abandonment wound. I didn't even know what that was. So how do you heal from the fear of abandonment wounds? How would I ever heal from that? By being sent a person on my path in alignment with my soul to abandon me. It was all a part of my soul contract. I asked for it. I asked for it before I came here. The lessons that we need to learn in this lifetime are ones that we agreed to before we came here to have this human experience. Our soul knows. The soul knows. But the ego tries to be in control. The ego attaches. And this is why it's so important to surrender. To just let it be whatever it needs to be. If it's out of your control, just let it go. And just know that you'll always be okay because you've got you. And that was a massive lesson for me. How could I feel the fear of rejection and abandonment and not being loved from this person if I felt love for me, if I didn't abandon me? I didn't reject me. I was there for me when I needed me the most. I sat with myself. I held the space for myself. I let myself wipe those tears. I let myself cry those tears. And I fell more deeply in love with myself in the process. I've never felt so connected to me. And it was through going through that heartbreak, that low time, that darkness. And the light never felt so bright when I came out of it. So whatever it is that you're going through, just let it go. Stop attaching to the outcome. Stop thinking that you know best. Stop trying to have it all figured out. Stop thinking that you know better than the universe and your spirit guides and your spirit team and your angels and your ancestors. You know nothing. We know nothing. We think that we know everything. And then when we really go there and we sit with it, we're like, oh my God, I have a whole army of spirit guides who are backing me, who are protecting me, who are loving me, who are guiding me, who are there for me. Be there for you. Maybe whatever it is that you're going through is teaching you self-love, self-compassion, self-acceptance. Maybe you just need to love yourself a little bit more. Maybe what you're going through is to bring you home to you, to bring you closer to you, the real you. Maybe what's happening is happening for you, not to you. Maybe if you just detach from that victim consciousness and that story and whatever this scenario is that you've created, maybe if you just detached and let it go a little bit, then you'll see and you'll feel and you'll know that I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. So universe, give me whatever I need. Even if I don't want it, give me what I need to be the best me. To live a life that I'm destined to live, to align with my soul's mission. Give it me all. Because I don't want to play small. And I don't want to keep running. And I don't want to keep avoiding. And I don't want to stay in these cycles with men. The cycle breaks with me. The cycle ends when I end it. So in this moment, choose to end it. Get your journal out when you've watched this podcast. Get your journal out and sit with yourself. What are you ready to let go of? What isn't serving you? What are you holding on to? What feels heavy in your heart space? What are you carrying? What is it time? You know it's time to release yourself, to surrender, to set yourself free. And before you go and get your journal, subscribe to my channel. And go and have a little look through my other videos as well, because there's some powerful messages that I feel if you've aligned with this message, you will 100% align with all of the other ones. So go and have a little binge watch, get a coffee, get your journal and go and have a little binge watch and really feel into what message are you ready to receive on your journey. Ask the universe and then click on a video that you feel is aligned with what you need right now at this specific time in your life. And I'll see you in my next episode.